What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Walks in Wall Street. Today we're standing directly outside the Moynihan train hall. We're going to be doing a complete walk around Moynihan and then headed all the way back to the west side to check out New York City's Hudson Yards. You can see this beautiful view of the Empire State Building. So let's go ahead and get started. It's a hot day. It's about 92 degrees in Midtown Manhattan. With the heat index, it may feel upwards of 98. The building across the street is Madison Square Garden, as we're walking towards the corner of 8th Avenue. Go ahead and make a right on this corner. And head down towards 31st Street. It's the corner of 32nd and 8th. This is the main entrance to the post office, which is still in operation. And then if you make a right and go through these doors, this is going to be to the main train hall, or the brand new Penn Station. We can get the Long Island Railroad and the Amtrak. This is looking back uptown. If you take 8th Avenue all the way uptown, it's going to run you right into Columbus Circle, 59th Street, and Central Park South. We're going to make this right on West 31st Street and head all the way to the Hudson Yards, where you're going to see the brand new Moynihan connector bridge to the High Line. Cost the city about $50 million. this is the south entrance to the Moynihan Train Hall. Again, you can get the Long Island Railroad and Amtrak. You're going to see all these big glass buildings. That is the Hudson Yards development. Those two towers sticking up. One of them is 1 Manhattan West, and the other is 2 Manhattan West. And that signifies the official start of the Hudson Yards development. This is the side entrance to Moynihan. I actually want to pop in here really quick. I want to show you something interesting. So if you come to this address, 351 West 31st Street, and just walk through these doors and you look up, you're going to run into a really beautiful art exhibit that stays hidden from the public. I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. So once you're inside the Moynihan Train Hall, right here on the 31st Street entrance, just go ahead and have a look up and you'll see this hidden art exhibit, which is the New York City skyline. You can make out a lot of the notable buildings, particularly the World Trade Center. And you can see the Jenga building. You can see the edge at the Hudson Yards and many others. And this is right behind the Amtrak main lounge. So just come in and look up and you can see some pretty cool art that not a lot of people know about. Most people just walk right past it, which is quite interesting. All right, let's continue on our walk. Yep.
Hey guys.
All right, so let's make the right and continue down. As we get to the corner of 9th Avenue, you're gonna start to see the structure in the distance. And that's the connector bridge. It cost the city of New York $50 million to make the connector bridge from the northernmost side of the Hudson Yards, where you're gonna see the Whole Foods, to wrap around all the way down to connect you by the Shed building, which will lead you to the vessel. height, and here we are on the corner of 9th Avenue. Now you can see 2 Manhattan West right in front of us. These are the brand new Class A office towers at the Hudson Yards. And you're starting to see a pretty big change in New York City in general, where you're going to experience a major flight to quality. So a lot of the Class B and Class C office towers are probably going to fall under a lot of financial stress. Many of them will be sold into foreclosure auctions. And businesses and companies will be moving into the newer, more improved, with a lot of amenities, the Class A towers. There's a lot of them on Park Avenue you can think about. The one I like to think about sits right next to the 432 Park Avenue building. The building is called 425 Park. It's one of the most state-of-the-art buildings in New York City, if not the world right now. And then you have Jamie Dimon's 270 Park Avenue. And many of these right here. And this is the back entrance to the Moynihan train hall. So if you do have your office at the Hudson Yards, if you've relocated, it's a very, very easy commute from Long Island, or you could take the 7 train. The last stop on the 7 train now is Hudson Yards. A little bit later in the video, we're going to walk right past BlackRock's new headquarters at 50 Hudson Yards. You can see just how grand the lobbies are. Extremely high ceiling heights, looks very modern. Lots of outdoor seating space. Just a better environment for office employees. We're going to make this left down the corridor, and it's going to take us right to the Whole Foods and the main entrance of the connector bridge, the Moynihan connector bridge. This building that you see centered in your screen, that is where you can get the Edge attraction. It's one of the newest observation decks in New York City. And you have all brand new retail too. You have coffee shops, you have Starbucks on the left. You have Peloton across the way on the right. Everything's just all modern. Really the way I think is best described is it's a city within a city. You know, the Hudson Yards could be an entire city somewhere in the United States in and of itself. That's just how broad-based it is.
I don't know, man.
you look closely in the glass at the Whole Foods, you can see the reflection of the Empire State Building. If I turn around, you have this picture-perfect view of the Empire. So you could grab some lunch at Whole Foods, at any of the cafes here, sit down at any one of these tables, and you have a perfectly centered view of the Empire State Building. And you can see a lot of the office workers are out. Business seems to be booming at a lot of these cafes. So right when we get to the main entrance of the Whole Foods, we're gonna make a left and we'll go over the connector bridge and loop around by the vessel. See, everything's all brand new, modern. Landscaping is quite perfect. Building right in front of us, I believe, is the corporate headquarters for The Real Deal, which is a major real estate publication. I think they're in that building right there. So here we are, we've made it. This is the main structure we were talking about. The new Moynihan connector or extension bridge to the High Line. And it'll lap us all the way around by the Shed building and take us deeper into the Hudson Yards. Let's go ahead and walk over. So these gates close at 10 p.m. Looking all the way down, that's Madison Square Garden and Moynihan again. That's where we started. some perspective of what the extension looks like. Has all of this beautiful greenery expended over the highway. It's a self-sustaining ecosystem. See at the High Line Moynihan Train Hall connector. It's quite unique, isn't it? Okay, let's start to head by the shed and the main vessel.